Trump breaking news today. Trump's profound damages payment may bankruptcy. Attorneys for Donald Trump have informed Newsweek that the combined effects of Jean Carroll's defamation suit and possible liabilities from his civil fraud trial could force him into bankruptcy. Last Thursday, Carroll began her second defamation trial, this time against the former president and current GOP candidate. A jury found Trump guilty of sexually abusing and defaming the former Elle columnist in May 2023, and the journalist was granted $5 million in damages, according to the verdict. The ex-president has disputed the accusation that he sexually assaulted Carroll in the 1990s while they were shopping at New York's Bergdorf Goodman. An additional $10 million in compensatory damages and substantially more are being sought by Carroll's legal team in response to the former president's persistent denial of the assault allegations, in which he asserts a lack of knowledge of Carroll's identity and claims that she is not his type. Trump referred to Carroll's allegation as fake and referred to her as a whack job during a town hall gathering with CNN in May. Judge Lewis Kaplan found that Trump's statements on Carroll were libelous in his ruling from early September. Several attorneys have warned that the ex-president would go bankrupt if awarded hefty damages as the trial progresses. This follows former Trump lawyer Rudy Giuliani's December bankruptcy filing in response to a defamation judgment of $148 million. In order to get Trump's take on this report, Newsweek reached out to his spokesperson. How much money is Donald Trump owed? Trump may be required to pay tens of millions of dollars in damages, according to Gene Rossi, a former lawyer for the Department of Justice. This jury trial could result in profound damages, he warned. A jury will not put up with persistent defamation. Collecting on a huge judgment to halt him will be an arduous chore for Ms. Carroll. Her attempts to get even a single penny from Mr. Trump would potentially push him over the edge of bankruptcy, according to him. If the jury is appalled by the conduct of Mr. Trump and is turned off by the arguable antics of his lawyers, then the judgment could be tens of millions of dollars. A former district attorney from Lawrence County, Pennsylvania, Matthew Mangino, predicted that the verdict might reach as high as 9 figures. Donald Trump already lost. The compensatory and punitive damages could be enormous, according to him. Yet, Trump doesn't seem to care. The bankruptcy is only a business choice. I'm sure his assets are all properly tied up, he added. Trump is determined to regain the presidency at any cost. I would guess, and juries are impossible to predict, that the punitive award could be as high as 9 figures, he said, his obvious disdain for the court and the process making him a very dangerous defendant. There has been no public disclosure of Trump's net wealth. Forbes, meanwhile, believes that figure to be closer to $2.60 billion. New York Attorney General Letitia James has also filed a civil fraud lawsuit against the Republican, on top of the Carroll case. Trump and senior officials at the Trump Organization were found guilty of fraud in a partial summary judgment finding handed by Judge Arthur Engeron in September. The ex-president, he ruled, had artificially inflated the worth of his possessions in order to get better deals from financial institutions. The amount of damages that the Republican will have to pay and the outcome of 6 other counts, such as conspiracy, insurance fraud, and manipulating company documents, will be decided during the remaining trial. This case, along with the Carroll case, could cause bankruptcy, according to Sierra Torres Spelisi, an associate professor of law at Stetson University College of Law. She told Newsweek that nothing but Trump knows the truth about his money. However, a bankruptcy filing may be necessitated by the simultaneous filing of the Jean Carroll cases and the New York civil fraud action. But I seriously doubt that Trump, as a former president, would want to declare bankruptcy in a year when he is up for re-election. She claimed that Trump's creditors and obligations will be exposed in his bankruptcy petition. I suspect Trump would want to hide those facts from voters, according to her. She continued by saying that Giuliani might have to pay more than the $148 million he was fined for slandering Ruby Freeman and Wandrea Shea Moss, 2 election workers in Georgia. This could be even higher damage award because this case involved Trump as president when his defamation could reach a maximum possible audience that was even bigger than Giuliani's audience, said Torres Spelisi. Despite the fact that the matter was not within his expertise, attorney Bradley Moss expressed uncertainty that the action would force Trump to go bankrupt due to his riches. "I do not expect this to bankrupt him," he commented. "His name isn't Rudy. Indeed, he possesses tangible goods." Possible comparisons between Trump's compensation and the largest in history paying election technology company Dominion Voting Systems $787.5 million in 2023. Fox Corporation reached what was probably the biggest out-of-court settlement ever for a defamation case. This was in response to allegations that Dominion Voting Systems voting machines were part of a plot to manipulate the 2020 presidential election, which Fox News had repeatedly broadcast. A jury in Connecticut found InfoWars founder Alex Jones liable for the deaths of 13 children at Sandy Hook Elementary School and awarded them $965 million in compensatory damages in October 2022. He had previously said in 2012 that the murders of 21 kids and 7 adults were all an elaborate fake. The figure reached $1.438 billion after a judge tacked on $473 million in punitive damages in November 2022. In December 2022, Jones declared personal bankruptcy and is now challenging the decisions that went against him. InfoWars is owned and operated by his company, Free Speech Systems, which declared bankruptcy in July 2022. More than these two would require an unprecedented amount of damages to be levied against Trump. Reasons Donald Trump may opt for bankruptcy. Trump might file for bankruptcy if he wants to avoid paying his bills, not because he's going bankrupt. The action would afford Trump time to come up with a repayment plan by putting a halt to creditors' efforts to collect on the debt. Filing for bankruptcy may allow you to avoid paying some of your bills altogether. Filing for bankruptcy, however, can lower a person's credit score, which might make future loans and property purchases more difficult.